Breaking today, the British monarchy fights back. After months of negative headlines and suggestions that it's all over, after months of appalling behaviour by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, who insist that they didn't watch the King's historic speeches last night, the Prince and Princess of Wales have shown us the future, celebrating 15 years of marriage by releasing a beautiful new image of their pitch-perfect family on that wedding anniversary. And trust me, after seeing Prince William at an RAF base yesterday as well, it is very, very clear that the British royal family remains in a strong place for the future. According to Taz, royal YouTube sensation will be with us today. She has posted on this same levels of cuteness as sleeping elephants. What a wonderful family photograph. Love how affectionate they all are together. And that's real family, isn't it? That's true family. I mean, let's just take a look at this image, actually, because it is so lovely what you see. And by the way, this was taken by one of their favoured photographers at a family holiday just a few weeks ago. And you see that complete natural interaction between the children. Catherine, pretty much recovered now, totally happy. And George, a little bit more serious there, as he is maybe because of what he is facing in his future. And of course, the doggies. You can't leave the doggies out. And this image was released after King Charles received such positive feedback, especially, I think, for his speech at the state dinner, which was just so funny as much as anything else. And guess who's not coping? Guess who's bitter and twisted? Guess who has decided to brief to the world? And let me just tell you, I do not believe this for a single second. We didn't watch. We didn't want anything to do with this. Yeah, that's right. The Montecito moaners. Look at this new revelation just out from Rob Shooter, former royal courtier turned gossip columnist, who says that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle did not watch King Charles's speech and are no longer pretending otherwise. Sources say Harry and Meghan no longer believe they need the King's approval, the palace's protection, or the family's blessing to move forward. They are done looking back, one insider says. They do not need Charles. They do not need the palace. They do not need permission. They have moved on. Tash, I'm sorry. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. It's just like when Harry says, oh, I don't read any of the media, or when Meghan Markle says, I never look at what people are saying on X. They watched the speech. Sure, they're sending people out to brief saying we didn't. But this has got to hurt, Tash, because if you compare the love on both sides of the Atlantic to the royal family today as a result of the King's state visit, which remember is only halfway through, and especially this new picture release from the Prince and Princess of Wales, it's got to hurt.
Yeah, it has got to hurt, but it's the harsh reality of it. But the fact that they felt the need to even say we didn't watch it, no one cares. No one cares. The King doesn't care. The public don't care. No one cares whether you did watch it or you didn't watch it. But the point is, the fact that they still had to come forward and say something shows that they do care. Kept their mouth shut and not said anything, then maybe it's more believable. But the fact is that they wanted people to know that they didn't watch it, means they still wanted the people to know that they exist, with a mention alongside the King. They are so predictable, but there's just no way anyone's going to believe. We're so done, as they're literally telling the world that they're still working royals, they're back to using their full titles, their HRHs. We're so done, we're moving on with our life. Those two are incapable of moving on.
Tash, can we just speak about the Wales and this 15th anniversary of the wedding? Because don't you think this was just such a lovely moment to show the world in 15 years we've come through so much, so many rumours, so much attempt for total destruction, health battles, personal battles, royal battles, brotherly battles, family battles, media battles. But actually what's important is he is saying to the world just 24 hours after Charles's address, don't worry, The royal family is in good hands. And I think the timing of this picture, Tash, was so lovely because, of course, people have absolutely adored seeing Charles and Camilla together in Washington, D.C., today in New York. But at the same time, Tash, I do think there is a little bit of feeling at the moment, a little bit of consternation that the royal family seems a little bit old. Remember when that official picture of the working royals was put out last week as well? That was the criticism. Well, there's nothing old about this picture. This new picture of William and Catherine with their family is very much saying, don't worry, things are going to keep going strong because we are a united family. And I love the fact that they put this out on the wedding anniversary. But what do you know about this photo, Tash? It very much continues a trend, I guess, of them wanting to show the world their private times in nature as a family.
I think it's just sharing this private side of their life. They've done everything that they can to protect the children. I would say that they've kept their children away from the public more than what Harry and William were at times. I think that they have done so much more to give them more of a private upbringing. So when they share these little moments, it's not like the public are just seeing formal photographs of the children all dressed up, looking prim and proper. These are private family moments. So they're saying, we're not excluding you from our life. We're not excluding you from our world. This is an intimate moment. This is our family. They still understand the importance that the public needs to bond with them. The public needs to go, at the baby photos and has an interest, which we have done because they've shared so much with us. But again, at the same time, they share something that is an intimate family moment, but it was taken with the children not being pushed out in front of the world cameras, not being forced to perform, not being served up on a silver platter, as one person said. And I think it's a perfect way to just share these intimate moments, also still mixing in the duty. We're seeing a lot more of the children with certain public facing roles. There was quite a big moment for I think it was VJ Day, where it was Prince George went solo with the veterans, and then we saw him also with his mum, because Prince William, I think he was still on his way back from the Earthshot Prize in Brazil, and he was with his mum at the Remembrance Festival. And then we see Charlotte and George at the tennis and at the football, and they are getting a slow, steady introduction, but it's not all like a prim and proper presentation. You just get to see a different side to the family. You get to see them as a real normal family, and I think that's something that the public bonds with.
Just when it seemed the royal drama couldn't get any more intense, a fresh controversy has sparked new speculation about the growing distance between Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, and the rest of the royal family. Reports of a shocking snub have royal watchers asking one big question: have King Charles and Prince William finally decided enough is enough? And if so, what could this mean for the future of the monarchy? Stay with us, because the latest developments have everyone talking. Before we begin, let us know in the comments, do you think reconciliation between Harry and the royal family is still possible? Or has too much happened already? Now, let's get into it. For years, the relationship between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle on one side, and King Charles and Prince William on the other, has been under intense scrutiny. Every appearance, every statement, and every public decision has been analyzed for hidden meaning. Now, a new controversy is making headlines after what some royal commentators are describing as a significant snub by the Sussexes. While details continue to be debated, the reaction has been swift. Royal experts, newspaper columnists, and social media users are all weighing in on what this latest move really means. Was it a deliberate message? A personal choice? Or is the media reading too much into it? That's where things get interesting. One of the most fascinating aspects of this story is the response, or perhaps the lack of a direct response, from King Charles. The monarch has built a reputation for remaining calm during turbulent moments. Rather than engaging publicly in family disputes, Charles typically focuses on his official duties. But some observers believe his actions may be speaking louder than words. Recent royal engagements have highlighted the king's commitment to stability and continuity. Supporters argue that this is his way of showing the public that the monarchy remains focused on service, regardless of personal challenges behind palace walls. And according to several royal commentators, that may be the strongest message he can send. Yet some are wondering whether this quiet approach is masking deeper frustrations. Could there be more happening behind the scenes than the public realizes? Then there's Prince William. As future king, William faces enormous pressure. Every move he makes is viewed through the lens of leadership, responsibility, and the future of the monarchy. Royal watchers have noticed that William appears more focused than ever on public service and key charitable initiatives. Some analysts believe this is part of a broader strategy. Rather than responding to headlines, William may be attempting to keep attention on the work of the royal family itself.
And the picture was taken by Matt Porteous in Cornwall. He is the Jersey-based photographer, Tash, who has a close relationship with the family. And I think you would have to, wouldn't you, to sort of
To have the children
capture
relax.
images like this. Exactly.
Yeah, the children are completely relaxed, the same that they were with, I think it's Millie Pilkington. She's another one. The kids relax. So they obviously have them in their lives at times, perhaps more as their parents' friends than just like an informal official photographer that comes in. The kids see them as a little bit of past the furniture. Those kids are completely relaxed, like the person isn't even there. So I think that's really sweet. And again, that's something that's beautiful that is conveyed with these intimate moments with with the kids, with the family. You get to see their personality rather than kids trying to suck in their tummies and push their shoulders back and things like we all had to do for the school photographs. And I think they're really special, and I'm really, really grateful, despite all of the abuse that Catherine's been through, especially after that Mother's Day photograph, that they still share these type of moments with us.
Exactly,
And
because there was such a fear that actually she might just say, oh no, I'm not going to do that again, and run away. But she hasn't done that, which is great. Okay, Tash, so in the early hours of the morning UK time, King Charles followed up his emotional address to Congress with a much more personal and funny speech at the White House. This was for the state dinner attended by the great and the good. There was Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos and Tim Cook, the Apple CEO, a smattering of media personalities, a smattering of politicians, of course. And I actually much preferred, I'm going to be honest with you, I much preferred this speech to the more formal and hyper-political speech to Congress earlier in the day. And then was the piece de resistance. And I have to admit, I actually got a bit emotional at this moment because I just think it showed that Charles has the emotional intelligence in terms of how to deal with Donald Trump, even though we know from Tina Brown that deep down he has some type of visceral personal hatred towards Trump. Their politics are certainly different. But the gift that he presented him was so special, so unique, and I genuinely think will go some way to helping to resolve the current splits that are there politically between the UK and the US. I just love this. Watch Donald Trump's reaction here. He's so overwhelmed, he actually stands up. Charles, you aced this moment.
Speaking of submarine alliances, there was one particular AUKUS predecessor launched from a UK shipyard in 1944 that served for the majority of her life attached to the 4th Submarine Squadron in Australia, playing a critical role during the war in the Pacific. Her name? HMS Trump. So tonight, Mr. President, I am delighted to present to you, as a personal gift, the original bell which hung on the conning tower of your valiant namesake. May it stand as a testimony to our nation's shared history and shining future. And should you ever need to get hold of us, or just give us a ring.
Oh, Tash, I got goosebumps. It was honestly, for me, the favourite moment from the visit so far. What did you think of King Charles's speech at the state dinner?
I mean, I loved all of it. That was a particularly special moment, though. I think of Trump a bit like a leprechaun. He loves gold. I mean, he does everything gold. You only have to look at the plates at the banquet. You know, he is a man that adores gold. But I mean, what an incredible gift! And I think he's going to love the fact that, you know, it was part of a submarine that sunk several other Japanese, torpedoed a few other Japanese submarines in World War II. I mean, what a piece of history to have. And of course, with his name on it, a little bit of narcissism goes a long way with Trump. So, I mean, I'm sure that he'll have that pride of place at home. Now, I did really like his nod, the King's nod to Melania at the beginning, the clip that you showed to do with the recent shooting attempt with the security services, thanking them for their quick intervention before it went worse. And I think that Melania probably could do with a boost like that publicly. It was quite a big statement from the King to do that in front of all of the world's media, especially because there's been some really cruel things, like Jimmy Kimmel recently making jokes about Melania, you know, potentially becoming a widow. And I found it a little bit below the belt. So to see the King give Melania public support like that, I think that was a really, really sweet touch. As for the rest of it, I mean, his sense of humor is on fire with these speeches. The jokes that he's made have been brilliant. He's timed them perfectly. And he just has this glow in his eye. The little smile appears, this little sparkle appears, and you see a really playful side to King Charles. And I think that has gone a long way as well, not just with Americans. I think this trip has been very successful with putting the UK in Americans' hearts in a positive way. Lord alone knows we could do with that at the moment. And then also, I think with Brits, I mean, I have been reading a lot of people, their favorability of the King has gone up in their estimations by the way that he has handled this tour. So I think that it's been very, very successful. And I personally enjoyed both of the speeches.
Yeah, and much needed too.
Yes.
For the King, given that he had been forced into a lot of silence, which I personally disagreed with after the arrest of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. We're finally seeing him, we're finally hearing him. And of course, I revealed yesterday, Tash, that Charles's doctors had stopped his cancer treatment and had worked on building him up to be physically fit for this trip. And I will say I have been incredibly impressed by the King's stamina. You know, this is a guy who's battling very, very serious cancer, and he has been absolutely nonstop and hasn't put a foot wrong and has looked vigorous. Then we get to Trump's speech, and Tash, there was one controversial moment, but Trump probably didn't go too far here, actually, but he did suggest that King Charles agrees with him in regards to Iran, even though the palace and the UK government have tried to clarify, well, of course, this is what the government position is. They never wanted Iran to have nuclear weapons. But I love it when Trump goes off script. Personally, I know not everyone agrees,
it's
but
just
watch
honesty.
This. Yeah, exactly.
He's just honest.
Critics argue that the ongoing tension between the brothers continues to cast a shadow over royal affairs. And that raises another important question. Is the gap between William and Harry getting wider with every passing year? Or are there still private efforts underway to repair the relationship? If one thing is clear, it's that public opinion remains deeply divided. Harry and Meghan still have a loyal global following. Many supporters believe the couple made difficult choices in pursuit of personal freedom and happiness. Others, however, feel the Sussexes have repeatedly distanced themselves from the institution while continuing to benefit from public interest in their royal connections. Meanwhile, King Charles and Prince William are praised by supporters for maintaining stability during a challenging period for the monarchy. As a result, every new headline quickly becomes another chapter in an ongoing debate. And that's exactly why stories like this continue to dominate international news coverage. This is where things become truly unpredictable. Will there be a reconciliation? Could future family events bring the two sides together? Or will the distance continue to grow? The truth is that nobody outside the inner royal circle knows for certain. But one thing is undeniable: the relationship between Harry, Meghan, Charles, and William remains one of the most closely watched family stories in the world. And with every new development, the speculation only grows stronger. So, what do you think? Was this latest move a genuine snub? Or is the media turning a routine decision into a major royal controversy? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this update, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest royal news and analysis. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next royal update.